We've got the 2024 Volvo XC90 Recharge.
Now with more range. Oh, now the gas engine comes on.
Went on.
This thing is quick, man. It's got a lot of power.
It does.
So let's get into it. What's under the hood and floor of this thing?
A T8 plug-in hybrid powertrain with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and an 8-speed automatic transmission. A combined 455 horsepower and 523 pound-feet of torque.
That's a T8. T as in Toronto. Somebody wrote on one of the Volvo videos, we said B6.
Yeah.
They said it doesn't have a V6, it's a B6, like
B.
Bronco. All right, here's the size of the battery. An 18.8 kilowatt hour battery. It has 53 kilometers of official range, that's 32 miles, and standard all-wheel drive. Now, the official range is 53 kilometers. I charged it overnight, got in this morning, it said 63 kilometers. We're getting bonus kilometers, Andrea.
I know.
I love it. So this is a premium product. What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 9-inch touchscreen with Google built in, Apple Carplay, a 12-inch driver display, leatherette upholstery, heated comfort front seats, power driver seat with memory, power passenger seat, 4-zone climate control, panoramic sunroof, a hands-free power tailgate, and 20-inch wheels.
A cool crystal shifter. What can we put it in, Andrea?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Cup of Car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow along at Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. So it's been 3 years basically since we drove the XC90 plug-in T8 hybrid. What do you remember of that one, and what are you picking up on this one?
Well, the range wasn't very good on that one, so now it has more range, which I think is great, because that was a big complaint for us. You eat up that range quickly.
Yeah, it was 29 kilometers of range, or like 18 miles, which was nothing. So I called it a bit of a vanity play, because you really weren't changing much, but this one's way better.
Now, what I do find about this one, and I just don't remember it with that previous model that we drove, is that the suspension feels firmer to me. It doesn't eat up the bumps in the road as much as I remembered it doing. And typically, every Volvo that I've driven, and if viewers ask me about a vehicle that offers a smooth ride, super comfortable, I always point them to a Volvo or a Lincoln, but this just feels a little bit firmer to me.
It's also running on 21-inch wheels. I mean, that's a big deal. So if you're going to the dealer, try it with or without the larger wheels and see if you notice the difference. But 3 years has passed. But I think to Andrea's point, we always kind of assume Volvos would be a little bit softer. But you know what? The steering has got a nice weight to it.
It does.
It handles pretty well. A vehicle that was designed a long time ago now. It came out in 2015. It's still holding up.
I also find when you drive it in pure EV mode, like we have it in now, it's much better than if you are in hybrid where you're using the gas engine and the electric motor together, or one or the other, depending on the speed that you're going.
I kind of disagree with that, because I just love when it all lights up. When you have the gas and the electric come on together, like when we first accelerated, the computer said, oh, Andrea wants more power. I got to add in the gas engine. And when you do that, man, this thing is quick. So it wouldn't be as efficient, but it'd be way more fun.
Yeah, and you can drive it in pure EV mode up to 140 kilometers an hour. That's 87 miles per hour. And it also has an off-road mode where you can drive it at low speeds at 40 kilometers per hour, 25 miles per hour. Once you exceed that, it's going to take you into the constant all-wheel drive mode. So the beauty of a plug-in hybrid is that if you have a full battery and you want to save your EV range, you can do that. There is a button for that in the system. You can also recharge that battery using the gas engine if you like.
All right, let's turn our attention to the looks of this thing, because when this was introduced, I think it was the Paris Motor Show, everybody on the floor of the show was saying, you have to go and see the new Volvo. Man, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's held up. This is still a great looking product. I would say the Land Rover, Range Rovers, and the Volvo XC90 are two of maybe the most copied utilities.
I would agree with that. This has a real stately exterior design, and I can only imagine when this came out what people thought. I mean, really impressive for sure. I really like the chrome exterior accents on this and the silver matte grille. It also has hidden tailpipes in the back. It's sleek and it really has held up over the years. This comes standard with LED headlights, LED taillights. You get roof rails and standard 20-inch wheels, as well as a tire repair kit. No temporary spare tire on this Recharge.
And the inside, not much has changed either from when it was first introduced. So they've gone with a digital instrument cluster. That's pretty common in this class. But the rest of the vehicle, yeah, they've kept it the same. I always like to call it Scandinavian luxury. But you know what, Andrea? If you come up with a good design, hello, Kia and Hyundai. If you come up with a good design, it will age gracefully in the marketplace for many years, and Volvo really is the master of that.
Yeah, what a beautiful interior. The color combo in here with the gray and the cream is really quite stunning. You have got some nice light gray wood trim, which keeps it quite modern looking. It has a 9-inch touchscreen with Google built in. It's not a difficult system to learn, but it does take some time. Once you have it, it's actually really, really easy to use. Some people don't like that this is Google based. They feel that Google listens to everything we do.
What? You want to buy a new pair of shoes, Andrea?
I understand that, yeah.
You'll start putting ads on for new shoes for Andrea. Here's the interesting thing is Volvo was first out of the gate with this Google operating system. It's called Google Automotive, which is different from Android Auto. Okay, so this system is being adopted by many other brands.
Yeah.
So this is the future. You think about it, you're going to be able to download any app you can off the Play Store and use it in the car if it's compatible with automotive. So there you go. That's what we're moving to.
One thing you'll find about the interior of this CX90 Recharge is that there isn't a lot of storage. And so I think that's one of the faults of it. You know, back when it came out many, many years ago, maybe storage wasn't high on people's lists in these 3-row SUVs. Well, that has certainly changed. Storage is a big part of what people want. The door pockets are wide though, so you can fit some items in there.
No, I don't have the best back. I have a bad back, and I kind of appreciate a firmer seat with good support. I did notice though when I got in, my back liked it, my bum thought it was kind of a little lacking in cushion.
Yeah, it's a little bit firm for me. We also have the Acura MDX this week, and going in and out of the two vehicles, I find that the MDX seats are much more comfortable than this. So let's get into the trims. There are only 3 of them, so if you move up 1 from the base model, it opens you up to a leather interior. A 360 camera, the heated steering wheel, an air purifier, heated rear seats, and park assist. The ultimate trim adds the Harman Kardon sound system, ventilated front seats, a head-up display, a power passenger seat with memory, Napa leather upholstery, and that crystal gear shifter.
Now, available features include an upgraded stereo to the Bowers & Wilkins premium sound system we have in our model. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charger on the XC90. So here's me getting in the second row. These chairs look comfortable. They slide fore and aft. You get adequate legroom, very good headroom. However, there is no armrest in the second row captain's chairs.
Comparing the XC90 Recharge to the Lincoln Aviator plug-in hybrid, the Volvo has 40.9 inches of front row legroom, which is about 2 inches less than the Aviator. Second row legroom at 37 inches is 2 inches smaller than the Aviator.
And then you slide the second row forward and climb on into the third row. It's not huge back there, but it's quite interesting. The headroom is actually pretty good for adults. Legroom is adequate, but not monster room.
Third row legroom at 31.9 inches is almost 3 inches larger than the Lincoln.
And then you lift up the power liftgate and you get a useful cargo space underneath the floor. There's extra storage.
Overall cargo capacity at 85.7 cubic feet is larger than the Aviator, but space behind the third row at 15.8 cubic feet is smaller than the Lincoln.
If we were in Sweden, Andrea, it'd be time for fika. That's coffee and a pastry.
Did you say it right this time?
Yes, fika.
Okay.
No,
if you're wrong, they're going to correct you.
No, it was fit de fou. I was saying wrong.
Oh, fit de fou.
But
yes.
fika, I know because
Okay,
I'm
good.
all about the coffee.
There you go.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Amazing looking car. My dad is getting a Lexus TX hybrid. Should he consider getting the TX or the XC90 Recharge because they are both luxurious? But I feel that the XC90 needs a redesign. We're going to go into the redesign next in our hot topic, so stick around for that.
Well, the nice thing is if you get a TX, it's a brand new product. So it's going to look the same for about 5 to 7 years. And this one, I don't think is going to be replaced. I think they're just going to go to the EX90 and phase this out. So the very first XC90, 12 years they kept it in the market. And
wow.
Yeah, and so it's already been in the market now for 8 years.
Yeah, that's something else, isn't it? Now, we didn't get to spend a lot of time in the Lexus TX. I would say probably like maybe 5 minutes in the interior. But what I can tell you is that this is really held up. This is a beautiful interior. It feels really refined. The TX is going to be bigger. It's going to offer more third row legroom and cargo capacity because we know it's based on the same platform as the Grand Highlander. The plug-in hybrid TX is a 3.5 liter V6 plug-in hybrid powertrain.
Really strange, right?
Really strange.
You think they'd use the 2.4 turbo they've come out with, but no, they're going with a V6.
And
it's going to be an Atkinson cycle V6.
Yes, and it's matched to a CVT,
Strange.
which is also interesting. It's going to have a combined 406 horsepower. That's the prediction right now. It will have around the same range as this at this time. That's what Lexus is stating. But the fuel economy will be better than this. Probably
Even though it's bigger.
Yeah. 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers, 30 miles per gallon combined. So it's kind of hard to know, isn't it? You know,
We have to wait till we drive it.
And pricing too might be a factor for some people in budget. So stick around for our review of the Lexus TX. Why is the XC90 so often overlooked in this segment of vehicles, especially with the more powerful and efficient Recharge offering? I'm wondering why it isn't compared more often to the X5, Q7, and GLE.
You know, the interesting thing is that Volvo in Europe is a very strong seller. They sell very, very well there. And you know what? Driving around where we live, there's a lot of these around. So yes, it might not be top of mind for a lot of people. They think of Mercedes, BMW, and so on. But when you start digging into this, if you want a standard 3-row SUV, there's this. There's the Q7 from Audi, the MDX from Acura, and the Infiniti QX60.
Yeah.
So those are your main players that come with standard 3 rows. That's one of the reasons why this is kind of in a different category.
And I think that people look at Volvo as a premium brand, and they will compare it to Acura as well as Lexus. And maybe the ones that are willing or able to make the jump to luxury German brands, that's what their focus is on. But as I said, in the last question, this is a beautiful interior and definitely keeps up with the Germans. I don't get why no armrest in the second row seats.
Well, this is a really easy one. We don't either.
We thought that was really strange.
You know, if you're on a long trip, it's just the weirdest thing.
It's the weirdest thing. I think maybe that has to do with this coming out in 2014. Maybe they didn't think of armrests back then.
Yeah, no, people didn't have arms then. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I like the smart and minimal styling of Volvo, but do you think that they are due for a redesign? I'd find it difficult to spend so much cash on a model that is almost a decade deep in the current generation.
Well, we talked about it already. This vehicle is aging gracefully in place, and I don't think they're going to update it. I think what they're going to do is move right to that EX90, which is a very modern version, or a more modern version of this, and that's full electric. So I think this is in the market until that vehicle takes over.
Yeah, and it really looks more like a Range Rover, that EX90 that's going to be coming soon. I actually like the timeless design. I prefer manufacturers not to drastically change their designs too often, especially for people who keep their vehicle for a longer period of time. And I really think that this has held up. So well done, Volvo.
All right, so what's important with a PHEV? The charging time, the official fuel economy, and more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, the Recharge starts at just over $87,000 and the top trim is just over $98,000. In the US, it starts at just under $74,000 and the top trim is just under $81,000.
The XC90 Recharge gets a combined 4 liters per 100 kilometers equivalent. That's 58 miles per gallon equivalent when charged. When the battery is depleted, this gets 9.1 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.6 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway. This vehicle comes with a 3.6 kilowatt onboard charger and will charge from 0 to 100% in 5 hours. This PHEV is not compatible with a DC fast charger. Towing capacity is 5,000 pounds, and the warranty is 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. So you want a luxury PHEV. We picked 4.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Porsche Cayenne e-Hybrid. It's powered by a turbocharged 3-liter V6 with a combined 463 horsepower and a starting price of over $105,000. The EV range for this model has not been announced yet.
The Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid with a 3-liter turbo 6-cylinder engine, a combined 434 horsepower. It has 82 kilometers or 51 miles of range. It's spendy $138,000.
The Lincoln Aviator Grand Touring with a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6, a combined 494 horsepower and 34 kilometers, 25 miles of range. It has a starting price just over $70,000.
The upcoming Lexus TX 550h Plus with a 3.5-liter V6 hybrid powertrain, 406 horsepower, an estimated 53 kilometers or 33 miles of range. Price has not been announced.
So there are 4 plug-in hybrids for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
I really like that Volvo increased the range in this Recharge.
She's still good looking.
I think for this price point, you've got to add a wireless charger.
And why no armrest in the second row? Weird.
More range and a timeless design. Check this Recharge out.
And more money.